Welcome back. I'm Amy Zelmer and welcome back to the inside of Winnie. It's been a while, and so in today's episode I just want to share with you a little bit of my journey of what happened since I purchased her, and hopefully just give you some wisdom and insights before you purchase your next RV. So settle in with some popcorn and I'm gonna spill some tea. Well, we're officially taking Winnie in to get her gray and black tanks fixed. Hopefully, sounds like she might be gone for about a week. Well, I'm headed off to pick up Winnie this afternoon. You might not notice I'm not as excited as I should maybe seem. There was some interesting behavior with the dealership, and I went from being a raving fan to I'm never coming here ever again. I'm still processing it a little bit. Not sure how much I want to share with you guys. I think I will. I think I just need a little more time to like calm down from everything that's kind of happened. Stay tuned. I think I'll spill some tea with y'all later. Go pop some popcorn and get ready to settle in. My camper has been in the shop for 3 weeks. There'll be a video coming on that soon. Learn from my ways. So hopefully that will be coming back here in the next day or two, because man, I'm leaving in 2 weeks, and so I need to get her loaded up. I plan to leave in 10 days. My plan has always been to leave on the 25th, but I still don't have Winnie back. Yeah, it's been 6 weeks, you guys, since I brought her in to get those gray and black tanks fixed. So they ordered the part, and that's been 2 weeks since they ordered the part, so a little frustrated. Plan A has come and gone. Plan B is still in place, and hoping I don't have to come up with a plan C. All right, it's November 6th, something like that, and I am off to pick up Winnie, fingers crossed. They called yesterday to let me know they were done. They'd replaced the valve and the cable for the gray tank, and that the black tank was functioning. So I am headed there now to pick her up and bring her home. If all goes well, we've been here before, like 6 weeks ago. So crossing all the fingers that I bring her home today, because I was supposed to have left 2 weeks ago. So if all goes well, I should be leaving this weekend, and stay tuned. Well, good news. Winnie is ready, and I have functioning black and gray tanks, which is huge. Here she is. So we got her all hooked up. I'm gonna do my final walk around and bring her home. Let's get down here. All right, moment of truth. Oh my God, look at how easy that is. Well, I've got Winnie back, and for that, I am so grateful. It's been a very long 6 weeks. And as you can see, she's still in the same mess that I left her in, because I haven't been able to do anything for 6 weeks, which is super frustrating. But I did want to share a little bit of what happened, how it all went down. I want to share what happened to help others so that you guys don't make the same mistake that I made. I don't feel like I made any mistakes, but on the other side of this, it's like, I guess I made some mistakes. I should have been a better advocate for myself. I should have been a little more demanding and aggressive. So go grab a beverage, pop some popcorn, settle in. This might take a minute. I hope you stick around. I would love your thoughts. And like I said, I hope that I can help even just one person not go through the headache that I just went through, the 6-week headache, literally and figuratively, right? Yeah, so thanks for being here, and settle in. The black and gray tanks are working fantastically. Here's a little reminder of what they were doing before when I first brought her home, in case you forgot. So I wanted to share my struggles because I feel it's important that we all learn how to be our own best advocate and don't let other people push us around or take advantage of us. So I'm gonna back up a little bit to when I bought Winnie, and I had a fantastic experience purchasing her. My sales guy, Andrew, was phenomenal through the whole process. Very patient with me because it took me months. I didn't purchase her right away. And then I had my walkthrough with Dustin, and also awesome tech. Loved working with him. He was so patient with all of my questions and pretty much showed me everything I wanted except opening the tanks. And I remember explicitly asking him, can we open? He showed me where they were, where the black and gray valves were. And I just remember specifically asking, can we open them? Because I wanted to just kind of get a feel. And he was like, no. And at the time, I just let it go. I'm like, okay, I get it. There could still be something in the tank. We don't want to just open it here. In hindsight, spoiler alert, I should have demanded and pushed it further because that was my right as the buyer to, you know, make sure everything's working. And so, you know, we could have pulled it over to the dump station and done it there. So tip number 1 is demand answers to anything. If you need them to show you 5 times how to do something, that's your right. You are the purchaser here. But moving on, had my walkthrough, did my financing, brought her home. We flushed through the tanks because before they sent it home, they had sanitized the tanks. And so you have to do a few flushes to get all that sanitizer out. And it kind of has like a smell, almost like a bleachy, chlorine smell. So we had filled the fresh tank and ran water through all of my sink in the kitchen, the bathroom shower, and the toilet. And so ran water through it all, made sure the hot water heater got hot, which it gets very, very hot, and did all of that. And then my brother and I went to take it to a dump here in town and got it hooked up and everything. And then we couldn't open the tanks at all. Like the gray tank, we couldn't get open at all. Like it felt like something was impeding it, that we couldn't open it. And the black tank, my brother finally got it open, and then we almost couldn't get it closed again. So I called Andrew. Andrew was great. He was like, absolutely, everything should have been working. That's on us. Like, you know, and like, I don't want to put words into Andrew's mouth because I might not be remembering exactly what he said correctly. But basically he was saying we should make that right for you, which they should, right? Like, it should have come home with me in full working order. There was nothing I could have done that would have damaged any of that in the process of bringing it home. Like, it was already doing that. The text should have caught it. And so when I brought it up to Andrew and he brought it up to the tech, and the tech said, oh yeah, they are kind of hard to open, which, you know, in all of my forums that I'm in, yes, they can be hard, but like my brother's pretty strong and he could not open it. So it wasn't just like that I was being a wuss. So we brought it in. Andrew hooked me up with the sales or the service gal to bring it in. And I kept mentioning it to her, like, there's no cost, right? And she's like, well, we'll try and run it through your service plan. And then there's a copay and yada, yada. And, you know, you're going to have to pay to have it sanitized. And I'm like, it's already been sanitized. Like, I haven't used it. It has not been used. It's only been fresh water. That the black and gray tank only have fresh water in it. And so, you know, I thought we were on the same page, but I could tell she wasn't really listening to me. And I got a call. And then the other frustrating part is, like, you make an appointment to bring it in, but that doesn't mean that's the day they're going to look at it. It could be up to a week until they even get to look at it. So I knew for sure she was going to be there a week. And then she called to tell me, oh, he got them working. He just put some lube in there and lubricated them, and they're working. And I'm like, okay. So I went to pick it up. We hitched her up, drove her over to the dump, and I asked her to open it. Before I even touched it, I go, I want you to open it. I want to see if it works. And she couldn't open it. Let me back up a step. When she called to tell me that Winnie was ready and that everything was working, she told me my bill was almost $600. And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah. So I got Andrew involved, and he went to bat for me as best as he could. He's just the sales guy, right? And he texted me and basically said, Miranda's not going to budge. She said you brought it in for service. They did service on it, and you got to pay for service. And I was like, in a normal situation, absolutely. But the fact that these things should have been working before I left with it is a different story altogether, right? So super frustrated. I left messages for the managers I knew of. I only knew a handful of people there. So I left voicemails and was like, please call me back to help me get this resolved. If you're not the person I need to speak to, let me know who I should contact. Didn't hear back from anybody, not a frickin' peep. And then ironically, the timing here was quite serendipitous. I got an automated email from Camping World with a survey asking me how my service experience was. You can guess what I did. I didn't give it like all zeros. I gave them some 3s and some 1s. But then you have the spot where you can, put in your comments. So I tried explaining what had happened, and then it asks, would you like someone to contact you? And I was like, yes. And I put in my contact info, and they called me within an hour. And let me tell you, these people, this is their job, right? To deal with unhappy customers. And so they were so kind, and I felt so heard. And she's like, okay, let me put you on hold while I get in touch with the service manager at that location. And then she connected to him directly. And, I thought maybe there was already some resolution before I talked to him, but there wasn't. So the service manager also took the stance, well, you had work done and you have to pay for it. And I'm like, you're not listening to me. This is brand new to me. It's not a brand new rig. She's a 2021, but she's brand new to me and should have been fully functioning when I left. And if something wasn't working, it should have been disclosed, right? And I feel like I'm being treated like, oh, you left with it. Goodbye, so long, good luck. We're not going to help you. And he's like, oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I'm like, so what can we do here? And he's like, well, you know, if you don't pay this bill, somebody has to cover it. So then the tech doesn't get paid and the salesperson doesn't get paid. And I'm like, that is not how it works. Like, no, don't pull that shit with me. And so he's like, all right, let me talk with my team and I will get back to you by end of day tomorrow. Okay, fair. So he calls me the next day and he's like, the sales team has agreed to reduce their commission and the tech has, you know, come to an agreement with us as well. So we've taken care, they've each taken care of the portion of the bill and you're left with $100 and some change. Basically I was paying for the sanitizing of the tanks, which didn't even need to happen. But at this point I'm like, fine, let me just come get her. I want to bring her home or get her fixed. So then I go to pick her up. So now the sales gal or the service gal is like, she can't open it. I'm like, yep, that's what I kind of thought might happen. So now she went and got the sales manager and the lead tech and they came out and they couldn't open it. And then everything kind of changed. Then it was like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. We'll get this right. We're going to make this right for you. We're going to take care of it. No problem. We're going to fast track this through so that yours takes priority over other ones in service. And we're going to take care of this for you. Awesome. Finally felt seen and heard and understood. Although, like, why didn't this already happen? So at this point I paid $100 and some, like $110. And so I check in with service in like a week and she's like, well, he's been out there working on it. I know he spent a lot of time on it and just can't seem to find anything wrong. And during all of this, I've told them no less than about 6 times that this is a common problem with the micro minis, and that the cables that they use, the valve pull cables, are too long, and if you trim them shorter it helps resolve a lot of the problems. And like, nobody's listening to me. The lead tech was like, oh no, there's no cables in here, this is a rod system, which he was wrong. There are cables. Anyway, then the following week I check in again and she's like, okay, we've ordered parts. He ordered a new valve and cable for the gray tank. I'm like, okay, well, what about the black tank? And she's like, well, he was able to get that one working. Okay, still skeptical. Okay. And then she's like, I'll let you know when the parts are in. So I call again in a week. The parts still aren't there. I'm like, how are the parts not there? So I call a week later. They're still not there, you guys. Like 13 days and the parts are still not there. Like, I could Amazon Prime that stuff and drive it up to you faster. Anyway, and then she did touch base with me. She's like, I just want you to know the parts came in. They're pulling it into the bay right now to work on it. I'm leaving on vacation this afternoon, so one of the other folks will be in touch with you. I appreciated that update. So then this week on Monday, I called right away. It's been 6 weeks at this point, if you're keeping track. And she's like, yep, looks like it's all done. And I go, okay. And now, to be clear, there shouldn't be any charges for this, right? And she's like, well, it looks like you have your $50 copay and then like $6 for shipping of the parts. Okay, whatever, fine. Like, I just want it back. So then we went to pick her up, and fortunately the pulls work beautifully. They work exactly like they're supposed to, just a gentle pull and push to open and close, not like struggling and giving yourself an aneurysm to open it. Which we never did succeed in opening it ever. Only one tech was able to open it, and I teased that he's part Incredible Hulk because he's a big guy and like he was the only one that could open it. Like I said, even the service manager and the lead tech couldn't open it. My brother couldn't open it. Me and Miranda couldn't open it. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just so frustrated and I kind of don't know what to do at this point. Like, I was frustrated that they made Andrew take a cut on his commission, and I talked to him about it. He's like, it's not a big deal. He's like, I just want you to be happy. And I'm like, but that's just so not right. That's just shitty of them to cut his commission. He, of all people I interacted with, went above and beyond for me, and they cut his commission. And then to say that the techs aren't going to get paid for that work on that original visit. And I later learned the techs are union workers, so there's no way that they didn't get paid for their work. So like, that was just all bullshit to try and make me feel bad or whatever. So all in all, 6 weeks, I did not have my camper. Couldn't use it, couldn't do anything with it, couldn't get ready. I was supposed to leave 2 weeks ago already. You know, so at this point, I'm not sure. Do I just drop it, let it go? Do I like reach back out to corporate, like, hey, like, make this right for me? Like, I at least want my $150 back, like, even in a gift card, because there's plenty of things I can buy at Camping World. But like, I mean, I made a payment on her. I had already made my first payment, but then I had another payment due, right? And like, not even being able to use it. And since I've had it, until I got it back, I hadn't been able to actually stay in her because she didn't have functioning black and gray tanks. Just really frustrated with this whole process. So my buyer beware to you is, one, be your own advocate, right? Like, demand that you can open those tanks and do anything. But really, two, just educate yourself before you purchase it and know things to look for. Like, I thought I had done everything right because I follow some inspectors. And so like, I was looking for the things that they look for, like the soft floor, the seals on the roof, any warping on the outside, anything that could indicate water damage, right? So like, I was looking for all those things. I thought I had educated myself. Who knew it was going to be the black and gray tank that got me, right? And then 3 is hire a private inspector. You know, they're a couple $100 to $1,000. I would think, you know, especially buying used, but even new can have problems. But I feel like, you know, it would have saved me a whole lot of headache. That $1,000 would have been worth the 6 weeks of my life I got back. Although, to be fair, they would have still had to fix it, so who knows how long that would have taken. But I wouldn't have had to have all that back and forth and being felt like I'm the asshole. Like, I don't think I was the asshole in any of this. I think I did a really good job of not losing my shit on them and holding it together. And I tried to just be kind and patient, but yet, like, come on, right? So learn from my mistakes, demand to look at make sure everything works. Like, you know, we had turned the stove on, we had turned the heater on, we had turned the air conditioning on, the vents, the fans, all the things, but except that black and gray tank. And I had asked and I was told no, and I just like let it go. So demand that you check anything you think you need to check in your initial walkthrough before you sign the papers. So anyway, learn from my ways, learn from my headache and my frustration. I hope this is helpful. I know this is kind of a long video, but I really hope that this can help someone. And you know, plan A and plan B both have gone out the window. So plan C, my backup plan, which I didn't even have until plan B went out the window. But I'm hopeful I'm leaving this weekend. It just depends. So today is Wednesday. I hope to leave Saturday, maybe Sunday. I'm okay if I don't leave till Monday, but it's going to take some time to get all my stuff in here, right? And then get anything else to my storage unit. We already did a big batch of that, but there's still stuff that needs to get done before I can actually hit the road. Because once I'm gone, I'm out of here. So hopefully my next video, you guys, will be traveling. It's going to be a chilly start to my travels. What's the temperature out here today? It's 39. one extra note, they had, because I had wondered, we had a few hard freezes while she was up there, and they did put antifreeze down the P-traps, and you can hear the heater just kicked in, and they did have the heat set like down at like 50 degrees or whatever the lowest setting is. So they did have, which no one told me the heat was on, so I drove all the way home with the propane on and the heater going, and I didn't know it because it wasn't running when I left. And when I got in the driveway, I heard this whoosh, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's the heater. So oops, lesson learned. That another lesson, right? Make sure your propane's off before you leave. Don't judge me for using a Subaru cup when I now drive a Ford, but it's my favorite cup, and I still love Subaru. They were good to me. I was an ambassador for them. Yeah, you guys, this has just been interesting. And, you know, someone said to me that it's meant to be when it's meant to be, meaning that I'll get on the road when I'm meant to be. And, you know, I agree. I believe that. I wish I had been on the road 2 weeks ago, but I feel like, you know, maybe there's something that was meant to happen or something more that I meant to learn. You know, the route I'm taking through Oklahoma, they have had nothing but tornadic weather the last week and a half, and you know how tornadoes love to find me. So, you know, maybe that's what kept me here a little longer. I don't know, but I'm okay with the timing. It'll all be great. I'm still going to spend winter in Phoenix. But I just really want to say thank you for being here, for being supporters. You know, if you've watched this far already, I appreciate you. You're helping me get my YouTube watch hours. But thanks for your support. Thanks for being here. Thank you to everyone who sent me things off my Amazon wish list. I just can't thank you enough. I can't wait to do a full walkthrough tour for you when she's all put together and pretty. And I really can't wait to start traveling and sharing with you my travel journeys, because that's what this was all about. You know, getting into my RV and traveling. And, you know, I will be stationary in Phoenix for a few months, but I do plan to take some little side trips, some day trips. My friend Rhonda and I have some fun stuff lined up. So stick around. It's going to get more exciting and interesting. Well, maybe we don't need more excitement, but it'll get more interesting. I can't wait to share all my travels with you, and I'm just so excited. I'm so happy to have Winnie back. Like, I just want to keep hugging her. It makes me so happy. Like, so I saw Andrew again yesterday when I picked her up, and he's like, she's a sweet RV. He's like, she's perfect for you. You have a great setup, and I couldn't agree more. I'm struggling a little bit with what needs to come with me and where to store it and how to get it in here and keep it organized. But, you know, it'll all work out over time. And, yeah. Well, you guys, if you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. You're helping add to my watch time views here on YouTube. But please hit the like button. That helps so much with the algorithm. And also hit the subscribe button if you want to stay around and follow my journey. That'll help alert you when I put new content out. And have a great day, everyone. I'm so happy to be back in Winnie and getting her ready. I hope she's as happy to see me as I am to see her. I kind of gave her a nice hug. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.